Oh, wow, it's so beautiful out here. Oh, I gotta show you. My first flower is coming up. That's a daffodil. It's really beautiful outside. Our grass is starting to turn green. And all of the stirrings of spring are evident. I don't see the tree budding yet, but it won't be very much longer. And it's only the 1st of April. And I saw something kind of funny on YouTube. I know it's a joke because there's too many people that would be particularly upset if it was really the truth. But this morning the video said that they were going to actually shut down YouTube completely at the end of this evening, April 1st. And I certainly hope that isn't really the truth. But I can't imagine actually that it would be, mainly because they get revenue from it, and it belongs to Google, and it was probably the actual founders of YouTube that actually did that, which they YouTube purchased, was purchased by Google some years back already. But they're actually making an announcement that they're creating another video site pretty soon, obviously since YouTube has done so well. But one thing I wanted to point out by that, I know it's a joke, but one thing I want to point out actually, no mail, okay, is that much of the time we make all of our business choices based on one thing. One thing that David Wood talked about last Monday, I listened to it again because I can replay it in the back of our Empower Network, which is really important to always be focused in on your inner game. And one thing he said in particular was how important it is to pay attention to what the leaders are doing, absolutely. And I'm talking about both their inner game stuff, how they're talking, how they're thinking, but also to focus in on what strategies they use, but keeping in mind you have to be flexible about those things. Flexible about your strategies, but inflexible about your dream, your vision, where you want to go. In other words, putting it in a context that a few years ago, when I first got started, and I know a lot of people are this way right now, I see it in their behavior, is that they are hard-pressed that they must stay in a particular company doing a particular thing, regardless of whether it works, and they're hard-pressed to ever even consider the possibility that what they're doing isn't working. And I don't mean necessarily the company itself, but the behaviors, the attitudes, the strategies, the things they're doing every day, they are not necessarily working. You have to always be kind of open to the possibility that there's something you have to do different. Okay. You have to be open to the possibility that there's other things. Now, even in my strategies, I'm constantly adjusting. I'm constantly changing a little bit what I'm doing, because if I give it a particular period of time, usually within a month or so, 6 weeks, I know whether or not it's a good strategy or not, because if I'm not getting some kind of results by that time, then I know that I have to do some adjusting. And the same thing goes with anybody. I mean, even when you're blogging, some of your things you do with the blogging itself may need adjustment. And that's one of the things that I don't see people willing to do. They have hardcore, tight-fisted attitudes about where they're going with what they're going to do, what they won't do. And because of that, most of them are failing. I'm not saying you're failing because of your company. I'm saying you're failing because of your thought process of not being willing to be open to the possibility that what you're doing may not be right. For instance, they can't see the point in blogging, a lot of them. And yet, spamming on their Facebook profile has not been very effective, has it? Yet they keep doing it. And they keep doing it, thinking that maybe just doing it long enough will create a different result. But just like, insanity, that definition that we always hear about it, doing the same thing, expecting different results, same thing goes here. If you don't have results, if you don't have what you want happening, then you have to be willing to make adjustments, change a little bit, try new things. That's why I'm getting where I want, because I am looking at, okay, what's working for her? Okay, let's give that a try. But I'm staying steady and strong in my vision. Do you get what I'm saying? In other words, when I could see that I was getting nowhere with my Lead System Pro, even though I like it, I like what they have back there, I was not getting the results I was looking for. That's why I went back to Empower. And that's why I put it on the back burner. It could be something I might do again later. It's not a bad thing. It's just I was being flexible and understanding that it was not necessarily the right thing at the right time for me at this point. And I hope this helps you and understand why I keep giving you the opportunity to join me in my team, because I know how to teach you with that flexibility and keeping the vision. And if you're in a company that you absolutely love, nobody's going to talk you out of that. But what if there's a different way to share it with people than what you've been doing? So to give that some thought, because Empower Network is absolutely where you could do that with a lot less stress.